All right, welcome to All-Star Fantasy Recap Week 7. I am the man, the myth, and the legend. Matt Amy is in the house today, and I'm here joined by Ricky, my guest this week. Ricky, how are you doing?
Good, not bad. Thanks for having me.
No problem. I mean, so how's it? How are you feeling getting the start to the season so far?
Good. I'm feeling confident, actually.
Feeling confident?
Yeah.
Feel ready to go?
Yeah, I feel confident. 4-3, not bad. You got two other people in the league that are 4-3, and I don't know. I think I still got a chance to go all the way.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Let's get into our results from last week here.
Sure.
So in our first matchup of the week, we have the embarrassment that I call myself losing to Mike, 117 to 107. I mean, we've talked about my team enough on this. What's your thoughts on what I call Mike's shit team?
You know what? I was gonna come on here and say I think Mike took a lot of shit from everybody, and I think his team on paper isn't bad. I mean, you know, you got Luck, Lynch, and the Seahawks defense on paper. What do you think?
I think I may have lit a fire under two people's asses this year now. So not only am I working on the, helping out Eric Train to his 5-2 season, I'm now starting on Mike's great comeback.
I think you're right.
You're welcome, league, I guess. All right, so getting into our second matchup of the week here, we had Brian and Dan. And this one was a bit of a nail-biter going down to the end here, but Dan ends up getting beat by Brian. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, something that nobody saw coming here. This is, actually the three top teams go down this week.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's a big relief for the whole league. You got Dan losing, which was great. Eric lost, that was great. Mm-hmm. So top two teams losing, and I think that's what everybody really needed right there.
So what do you call this though for these two teams? Do you think it's a fluke that Brian's just getting in here and he has a lucky week, or is it Dan's streak of playing the least scoring team possible each week catching up to him finally?
I think it could be a little bit of both. Brian as an owner, I think is somebody to watch out for. He's been doing this long enough to where he knows what he's doing. Maybe along with Mike, he just caught a couple bad weeks, like bad matchups and whatnot, mm-hmm. and buys and everything. And maybe Dan got a little bit unlucky too. I don't really know his situation with that, but you can't win them all, I guess.
Can't win them all. That's exactly right. And if you do, kudos to you. You deserve the trophy.
Yeah.
Our third matchup of the week here, we have your brother Matt beating Eric. Mm-hmm. And thank God someone beat Eric besides me. It just must be a Matt thing with beating Eric this year. So, he goes down after his emphatic promo last week that he shoots calling out everybody. He gets his ass whooped by your brother.
Yeah, that's poetic justice right there.
Poetic justice. That's a perfect way to put it right there. I mean, enough said about those two teams though, right?
Yeah, I think so. Eric kind of got what was coming to him, in my opinion.
Hey, that's what I like to hear. Eric, stop trying to play the heel. You're not good at it. Or like all great heels, you just lose into the end to John Cena.
Who's John Cena, Matt?
Well, of course, Matt, because that's his one love. He brings the coffee mug on here too. I like it. What do we got here?
Who am I playing this week?
Ah, there you go. You're playing your dad. All right. Our fourth matchup of the week here, we have Caesar beating your dad, 116 to 91. And this is the tale of the two seasons. These two teams seem to flip places.
Yeah.
Right at about the same point with the injury to Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, that's what really hurt him, I think, all in all.
Right, and I don't know if getting him back is going to help him, though, too much. It seems like he's just, that was just the start of the slide for him right at this point. And, I mean, Caesar, he's 4 straight wins right now. He's the hottest team the league has to offer.
That's true. I don't know. My dad was doing good when Roethlisberger was in, and then he gets out, and then he starts doing bad. I think it's 2 weeks in a row he lost.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I think Roethlisberger does have a lot to do with it, and I think he is coming back this week. He's like 90%. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, he's playing me this week, so that's not going to do him any good.
There you go. And we get our last matchup of the week. We have yourself beating your brother Joe. Mm-hmm. And Joe has been beaten around like the little redheaded stepchild this year. Mm-hmm. And it makes, I think, everyone so happy after all the crap that he talked during the draft. Nothing is making us happier to know that Joe is one spot out of last place now.
Yeah, that's, I mean, going into it, I wasn't really too worried, but again, Joe's kind of in the same position as Mike, as, he's been doing this long enough as the owner, and you can't really sleep on him. Mm. But with a 2-5 record, it's I don't know if he's too far gone or if he can turn it around. It might be a little.
The
too
end
late.
looks near for them.
I think
at this
I
point,
think I agree with you.
It's what do we got? 5 weeks left in the season. I mean, you pretty much got to win out there if you even want to have a chance.
Yeah.
At this point, and that's cracking off 5 straight wins. That's tough to do. We haven't seen it yet this season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it's probably not.
Actually, I take that back. We have seen it once this season. Eric's done it. So.
Oh man.
So. But getting into the scoring title here, what's your thoughts on the top 3 right here? I know you did your homework. Let's see if you did the homework here.
I didn't.
Who do you got in the top 3?
Top 3 in order?
No, you don't have to put them in order.
All right. Well, I say Eric.
Eric's on top of the list right now.
Top.
763.
Dan?
No. Dan is about 40 points out of third place.
Third. Minor?
You're in there.
Okay.
It's 738. You're in third place.
Third?
You're missing the person in the middle.
Is it you?
It's me.
Okay. Yeah, because you've been there.
At 740 right there. I'm sitting right up at the top. With my losing record, I'm in second place in scoring. I don't know how that one works, but we're just going to roll with it, okay?
Yeah, just go with it.
So getting into our playoff picture right now, too. You're in it right now.
Yeah.
Season ends today. You are in there as our 3 seed.
That's great, yeah.
So,
like I said, I'm not counting myself out yet. I don't think anybody really should.
No.
I mean,
right now our tiebreakers are coming down. They don't come between matchups. They go to points scored right now. Okay. So, I mean, we're looking at Eric sitting in first place right now, of course, being the highest scoring team in the league. Dan with his record in second. You're taking third because of your points right now. And Matt's in fourth. So little Matt's in right now too. We got 3 of the Maltese boys in right now chasing Eric.
That's great.
So I mean, when you have half the league, you're bound to get at least 2 in everything.
I guess, yeah.
All right, a little bit of Q&A with you though too. You're the winner of 3 straight right now. How does it feel to get, like I said, into the playoff hunt after such a rocky start that you had there?
It feels great. I mean, I don't really know what else to say other than that. Like I said, I never really doubted myself. I think this is only my 3rd year playing, though, if you want to go off of that. Mm-hmm. So I'm not really as experienced as some other people in here. I know this is Eric's first year, so he can't. And so, I mean, he's not using that as an excuse, I guess.
Right.
My dad's first year, too. But my first year in, I came in second, I believe, overall. Mm-hmm. So I can't, I mean, I'm not really counting myself out, like I said. And I don't think anybody should really sleep on me, not yet.
Hey.
Not with Brady putting up the points he puts up.
Exactly. That's where I was about to go with that. With Tom Brady on your team right now, you got the number 1 quarterback in the league. And
definitely.
It's just, I mean, you're just pulling through right now. And I think you have Mark Ingram on your team as well, too, who's helping through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I mean, second-rated running back to Devonta Freeman. And he's just plowing through it. It seems like he's almost had a silent year this year.
Who?
Ingram? Yeah, I mean, you're not hearing a lot about.
Yeah, he's one of the on and off guys, I feel like. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, along with Blunt, I mean, Blunt's a hit or miss. I think I feel like I got too many of those guys on my team, like a hit or miss. But
yeah, that's why we called you the bipolar team though earlier this year. At least when they're all on, you're killing people.
Yeah, if they're all on, then I win hands down. But
the weeks that they're off, we've seen a little bit of a couple of rocky games in there. Yeah. So, how do you feel your draft went this season?
My draft, not bad because I mean, in all honesty, I'm not really active on the waiver wire, so everybody on my team right now is pretty much who I drafted. I mean, Charles got injured. That was my first round, my first pick. Period. The first pick. But you can't really foresee that, obviously.
And, you're still sticking up there even with Charles being injured now. He's been out, what? This will be his
He's been
third week?
out, I think this week is his third week. Third or second.
I mean, you're still holding around up there, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're cracking off some wins. So the injury to Charles hasn't really seemed to hurt you that much yet.
No, not quite. And then I got Bryant sitting on my bench. So, with that trade with Caesar a few weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
So, hopefully when he comes back and he's healthy, that would even be... that would help me, obviously, even more if he comes back to his full potential.
Oh, you're absolutely right. So, I know I know the answer to a lot of these questions, but I want our viewers to know as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
I want the rest of the league to know, get yourself out there. What's your outlook on the rest of the season? Got 5 weeks left. How are you feeling about, these last 5 weeks?
5 weeks, including this week?
Including this week.
Well, I feel confident against my dad, but I don't really know who I'm playing the other week, so it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, I didn't look that hard ahead of the schedule.
I didn't either.
Is your confidence up there, though? You think you're gonna?
Yeah, my confidence. Of course, my confidence is up there. I mean, everybody's got to have confidence in themselves about anything.
Unless you're Joe or Mike, then you have to have confidence about this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have confidence. I didn't really do my homework quite as well as I thought, I guess.
No.
But yeah, I feel confident this week, and I don't really know who I'm playing the other weeks. I don't know who I haven't played yet, if anybody. Oh, Matt. I didn't play Matt, so I might be playing him.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be a pretty even matchup right there.
Yeah.
So, all right, so I got a couple, we're going to do our one-word segment here.
Okay.
I got to think of a word for a couple of these teams real quick. First, of course, we're going to start off with Eric. Being in charge right now, he's in charge of the league. We got to start with Eric, and we got to use one word to describe Eric.
One word to describe Eric. How about cocky?
I like the word cocky.
How about cocky?
Cocky.
I don't know. I guess he deserves it, but I don't know. From that rant, and I call it a rant that he came on here last week, I don't know. He just seems a little too cocky for me. That's not the way I would have conducted it. I would have just came on and said absolutely nothing, if I was him, and let the actions speak more than the words,
There you go.
That's just me.
Well, that's what happens when he's let his actions speak for 5 straight weeks, though. You get it in your head that you can do whatever you want, and
I guess
it doesn't work out for you. My one word for Eric this week, Achilles. As in Arian Foster's Achilles. Ha 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 ha. Eric, Arian Foster's Achilles. Enough said right there. Get into our second person here. Let's use Dan.
Okay.
So, one word to describe how Dan's going right now.
I'd say probably dominant. I'd use dominant.
You use dominant?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, the record doesn't lie, and I mean you could say it's luck, but I mean I don't really agree with that. So I'd go dominant with Dan. He's been plowing through people as of late.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna have to disagree with you on this one too. With Dan's team, I'm going to use the word that I used to describe your team a couple weeks ago. I'm going to say the bipolar team. A couple times this year, we've seen Dan shoot up, 120 points, only to pull what he did this week and throw up like 63. This is the second time this year I believe he scored below 70 points in a week.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean, it's shocking. He's 4th in scoring right now, but he's also, I think, 2nd in points allowed this year. So, I mean, he based on what I see there, he hasn't really played the really, really tough teams yet, though.
Yeah.
So,
okay, that's
especially since he has a matchup with Eric this week.
Yeah, we'll get more into that. Yeah. That should be a very good matchup, in my opinion.
I think you're right.
I think that's going to be very close. Go either way.
So we get 2 more that we're going to use here. We got one word to describe Joe's team. And I love when we discuss Joe's team.
I was going to say, do you want to go first? Because, I mean, I don't got all day here.
Yeah, I know you don't got all day. But
so I know how you get when Joe gets...
Oh, I love talking about Joe's team. It makes me like a giddy little schoolgirl. Joe's team. I need to think of a new adjective this week, though. Just because I mean, there's only so many words that you can use to describe. I got one. Filth. Absolute filth is what his team is this year. I don't know how you draft a team that looks like that and you just throw up garbage after garbage after garbage each week, Joe. You don't deserve to have that belt around your waist. And I will take it from you. Okay, go ahead. I feel better now.
I'd say maybe, I don't know, depressing maybe. I mean, he's the champ coming into it, and he doesn't really have a... I mean, obviously his record's poor, but his team really overall isn't bad. I mean, drafting Peterson, you'd think, I mean, the number one running back, you'd think he'd be better than that. So maybe he's kind of like in the same situation as Mike, or Mike's in the same situation as him, whatever, where they're just getting bad matchups, and I don't really know like about like their team injuries and all that stuff. I haven't really looked into that.
One thing I can really say about Joe's team, though, is it looks like going up and down his roster, right, he has good players on there, but it almost seemed like he played it safe with every one of his picks. As in, there's, you know, they're guys that are going to put up, you know, solid numbers week in, week out, but you're never going to really have that home run with a lot of them there.
Yeah, okay. I guess I could agree with
and
that.
I mean, it's like, it seems consistently that Joe's putting up, you know, each one of his guys will put up 10, 15 points a week, but he's not getting that, you know, those 20, 30-point games that he really needs from somebody week in, week out to set him over the top in this league. So, we got one word. And of course, you know, it's going to be your team.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your one word to describe your team? Be confident with it. Bellow it out or something.
I'd probably say destructive, maybe. Destructive.
That's a new one.
That is a new one.
That's a new one. We haven't heard that one yet.
I'd say destructive. Yeah, I'd go with that. Again, I don't know what my matchups look like later in the season, but I know I'm facing my dad this week, and I don't really think he's got a chance to beat me. So I know I'm gonna plow through him without a problem, and then we'll see from there, I guess. So for now, I'm gonna say destructive.
Okay. So let's get into our week 8 matchups here.
Okay.
All right. And first matchup of the week, we got myself against Brian. Who are you taking and why?
Yourself against Brian. Where do I have it? Oh, here we go. I don't know. You're not gonna like this, but I think I'm gonna go Brian. I'm gonna go Brian because I think Beckham's gonna go off against the Saints defense. And I don't really think that. I think that's just gonna be a fact, and he might put up too many points to where you can't come back and win. And then I also have here that. Matt Ryan did. Who are they playing this week? Matt Ryan.
Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm. So that's a bad defense overall. So I think
the Matt Ryan Julio Jones connection shall live on.
Yeah. So I think he's gonna have a good game also.
But you're taking Brian in this one?
I am taking Brian in this one.
See, I of course am going the opposite direction just because it's my team, and actually not even because it's my team. I'm pissed off that I'm on a 3-game losing streak right now, and I'm going to take every bit of it out on Brian this week and just do bad things to his team. Okay.
I'll see.
But anyways, moving on. We have our second matchup. We have Mike and Joe. And this, to me, just seems like the week of even matchups right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I looked at that too.
I think, though, going into this one, I'm taking Mike in this one. Mike,
really?
you proved something to me last week that you could beat my team. Even, I put up over 100 points, which is something you haven't done a lot this season. And then you rattle one off against me, so kudos to you. Good job. And I'm going to take you this week after beating me over Joe, just because Joe. That's my reasoning.
That's your reason?
That's my reasoning is because it's Joe.
Okay. All right, well, I actually got Joe winning, and I got this being the ass beating of the week.
Joe being the ass beating of the week?
Yeah, so far me and you were on completely different pages.
We're on different spectrums here.
Yeah, I think Peterson's gonna go off against the Bears. I don't think the Bears have the defense to prepare for Peterson, and I think he's due also.
You're right. He's due for a big game at this point. So, moving into our third matchup, though, we have Dan and Eric here. And these are the two top dogs. So one of them is going down again and is going to be riding a 2-game losing streak after this. So in this one, though, I'm taking Eric.
Yeah.
It just there's something just about it. He sheer dominance that he's having right now. He's outscoring everybody in the league by at least 20 points at this point. Over third place over Dan right now, I think he's more than 100. Right now. So I mean, he's steamrolling through people. He had a bit of a bump last week playing Matt, but you know what? I think this is going to be the start of Dan's little slide that we've been waiting to see.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I got Eric winning too. Well, I don't have him winning by much though. I think this is going to be a close game, and I already put my close shave somewhere else, or else I put it here. That's how close I think it's going to be.
And I'm actually going to go with my close shave right here on this one though. I think Eric's going to win, but it's not going to be as in dominating fashion as as a lot of people I think it's going to be this week. So,
same.
Our fourth matchup here, we got Matt and Caesar, and this is one that I thought Matt would have steamrolled through earlier in the year, but I think this is going to be another Caesar keeps up the roll here. I'm gonna take Caesar in this one. Matt, he's got a good team. He's played well, but I mean, it's just the role that Caesar's team is on right at this point. It's like I said about Eric earlier in the season. I can't bet against him until he loses.
Right. So you're taking the hot hand.
I'm gonna take I always feed the hot hand.
Yeah, I think you said that last week or a couple weeks ago. But I'm actually gonna go with Matt here, and this is gonna be my close shave of the week.
Okay.
Matt wins. I think Caesar has got to lose eventually. How much? 3 in a row? 4 in a row?
4 games in a row.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to come to an end soon, and Matt did it to Eric, so
hell, I think I was the last team to beat Caesar, too, so I mean, I'm just... Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. Once I beat you, you just... right to the top.
Yeah.
All right, so... Getting into our last matchup of the week, and I'm going to take this as my ass beating of the week. I'm taking you over your dad right now, too. Even with Roethlisberger coming back, I'm still, this is going to be my ass beating of the week. You're on a little bit of a roll right now with cracking off 3 straight. You got a team that's in the top 3 in scoring, and I think that trend is just going to continue with your team right now. Even with the loss of Jamal Charles, I think you're still going to be dominant this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't disagree with that. I got myself winning also. I don't think he really has a chance. Roethlisberger coming back could be a saving grace, but I don't know. I still don't think it's gonna do for him.
I think you're absolutely right. So, of course, to end our show, we have our magical call out. And my call out of the week is going to, you guessed it, Arian Foster's torn Achilles. I'm going towards Arian Foster's torn Achilles just to mock Eric this week. I've beat up on Joe for the past couple weeks now, and just a little bit. I've been beating up on Joe, and I think it's now time to beat up on Eric's team just a little bit here too. You're right. He was overconfident. He was cocky. And look what it got him at the end of the day. Yeah. It got him his star running back with a torn Achilles. Done for the season with a torn Achilles. Eric, I hope you hear torn Achilles in your sleep tonight as you watch this video. It probably won't be up until Saturday, but that's just me because I get lazy. And also, my call out of the week, Joe.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Joe, that stupid
never
title.
Seems to fail. It never seems to fail. It's always Joe.
I'm
always
predictable.
Joe.
I'm predictable, and I love it. I love it. Joe, I hate your team. I hate you in fantasy football, and I hate that stupid belt that's around your waist. Be ready for it to be gone, brother. Okay, your turn.
Okay, well, my call is not going to be that dramatic.
Colorful?
Colorful, dramatic. I'm going to call out my dad because I think it's kind of fitting that we're playing this week.
Sorry, battery said it was about to die, so we're going to make this quick.
Okay. I don't got much to say. I'm going to call out my dad. He lost 2 straight weeks in a row, and he's got to pick it up. I mean, there's no There's no excuse for that. He's got to start picking it up.
Not to mention he's got the pace mug and he's just taunting you right
Uh-huh.
now. I find it so entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but that's it for our All-Star Fantasy Recap Week 7. So set your lineups, edit your trading block. For God's sakes, half the league, edit your trading block and throw something up there. And just remember, Week 8's on the way. The playoffs are almost here. Stay frosty, bitches. We'll see you in a couple weeks.